Hey guys, welcome to another episode of All Bass Curations, Effects, Tutorials, Demos, and Review. So, what's going on, folks? I appreciate you dropping by. Appreciate you showing some love. If you haven't already, hit that like button. I definitely appreciate it. So, today we're diving into how to use the Mercury X on bass in different ways, you know, other than just the reverb, right? So, that was kind of showcasing the reverb. That's one of my presets I've been working on, Negus Leslie. You know, it's got that pretty much with my expression pedal. I'm controlling the speed of the tremolo on that reverb. Now, the tremolo is only on the reverb, right? So in this case, you know, we're using it as almost like, I look at it like a secondary modulation type thing, where it's not affecting my dry signal, but it is affecting my wet signal. But let's go ahead and start diving into some different stuff here. I have created a patch that is specifically for bass. And it's called Negus preamp on here, of course, you know what I'm saying? But what it pretty much is a, this thing does, so let's start here. The Mercury X does so many things just besides just the reverb, right? You've not just got a reverb section, you've got a pre-delay section, which also acts as a delay section. Then you have a dynamic section, which includes things like a compressor, limiter, two types of compressor, a compressor link, limiter link, diffusion, swell, and you also get freeze. So this thing replaces quite a few pedals. So it's going to replace, or can, if you're down for, you know, I know it's $600, right? Something like this is pretty pricey, but when you really factor into everything it can do, it can be a freeze pedal, it can be a compressor pedal, a limiter, and that's all within that one module on here, just the dynamic module. It also can be a swell pedal. So, you know, you got different things that this thing can really do and does it very well. And a diffusion pedal, which kind of like smears your sound a bit. So then it can be a preamp pedal, tube preamp, a op preamp, or a transistor preamp, which is like solid state type thing. You also got a pitch shifter. You got 3 beautiful filters in here. You got a modulations. You know what I'm saying? You got a 79 chorus, vibrato, a vowel mod, tremolo, and a hazy. You know what I'm saying? Modulation in here. And then you got a mix knob, right? So I've actually taken the time to kind of set up a preamp section for bass. So this is my bass without it. Let's see, let's get a nice little slap sound. So this is my bass dry. So that's my bass dry. But when you kick on this preset, so yeah, you got a lot of so you can get a great tone out of this thing. You know what I'm saying? What's going on, folks? Appreciate y'all chiming in over on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, all the usual good stuff. Appreciate all the follows. Appreciate y'all. So yeah, this thing can absolutely get you a nice bass tone. So just quick tip for something like that, and you want to get, you know, it might not always be clear how to bypass things on here. So if you want to bypass the pre-delay, which is, you could think of that like your delay section, you pretty much would just put the dry blend on 100, and to bypass the reverb section, you would put the pre-delay blend on 100. Now you got full range of the pedal. From there, you know what I'm saying, I got a compressor link. Right, and I also have a op preamp on here. Which is just giving it a bit of character in there, just a bit, you know, not a whole lot, just a little bit of something. But the thing I really like about this pedal is it's actually very versatile. It's not just a reverb pedal, it's actually a multi-effects unit, for real. So, you know, you got to kind of understand how things work with it, though. So, of course, it's a reverb first pedal. But, you know, if you, like I said, if you bypass and put that on dry, the way I just told you, it'll allow you to get to the other effects and also, you know, not have the reverb on yet. You can add the reverb back later if you want to. So if I wanted to get just to a solid bass tone, matter of fact, if I turn off the preamp, let's turn off the compressor. Let's put this, so let's just do it this way. All right, yeah, we're gonna bypass the compressor. All right, so this is just the op amp preamp. So you can get a, just with that, you know, if you, let's hear it without it. With it. So it has just a bit of saturation on it. I don't know what people. Some people just be commenting just to get a reaction. Nobody giving y'all a reaction. You can. Some people be weird on the internet, bro. But yeah, so just a great preamp there. You also got two other ones on there that are a little bit different, like the transistor one. Let me see here. Oh, you also can use this as a volume pedal. So you can, that's another pedal to replace it. So far we got volume pedal. We got a tuner. It's a tuner on here too. I haven't even told you guys that yet. You hold these two down, you got your tuner. But then you got a preamp pedal. You know what I'm saying? You know you got a reverb pedal and a delay pedal. You got a pitch shifter, and then you got modulations on here as well. So 7 different effects you can have on here, and that's 7 different effects pretty much like all at once. You know what I'm saying? Because the let's mention this too. Not only do you have all that stuff, but you have modifiers that you can assign to multiple parameters. You got a LFO, 2 LFOs, LFO A, LFO B. You got a sample and holder, which is like a random number generator type thing. So random is going to give you random values. You know, if you want a random filter type thing, you can do that. Filter, that's 8. So pretty much 8 effects at a time with this thing, which is just spectacular. I mean, it's a reverb pedal that does 8 effects at a time. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Not only that, but it can you got an envelope on here. So you can, like, if you want to make an envelope filter, we'll make an envelope filter on here while we're on here. You got a hold function. The hold function, pretty much you can assign that to a ton of different parameters, and it's this foot switch here, allows you to change parameters on the fly. You know what I'm saying? You can also assign a lot of that stuff to the expression pedal as well. We'll talk about that in a second. And then you got a sequencer on here, and it is a 16-step sequencer. So, and you can assign that to any of the parameters. So if it's a filter, we'll do a filter next. You know what I'm saying? So we could just get some examples in that'll show you how to use the modifiers. What's going on, folks? Appreciate you stopping by, Auntie. But you can assign 6 different things to the expression pedal parameter, but you can also select the source of these. So you can really, this gives you like 6 different parameters you could control either via your foot switch, the hold switch, or the LFO. You can assign this to the LFOs. Say you wanted one parameter to assign that to multiple, you want one LFO to assign to multiple parameters, you can do that with this pedal as well. So essentially what you do, you go to the modifier section. Well, let's just go and set up a filter, and we'll get to all that. You know what I'm saying? But through the expression pedal section, you can actually set. It's 6 parameters to just the expression pedal, but you don't have to use all 6 for the expression pedal. You can use them for the LFO. You can use them for the hold modifier as well, and the sequencer. So, you know, this is useful if you want to assign the one LFO to multiple parameters. makes it very easy. So, and that's the real key to this. This is where people get confused. Tip number one, as soon as you get the pedal, turn it in text view. I don't recommend, trying to do the graphic view. One, because it's just too many, it adds too many menus for me. I recommend the text view where you can see everything and the parameters are directly next to the knobs. You know what I'm saying? So a little easier to see. Then from there, you just got to change pages with this one knob. You know what I'm saying? Because I know this pedal can be confusing for a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? When you got a little bit of everything, sometimes it can be a hassle. But trust and believe, it does more than just this beautiful sound. So it does way more than that. It can even freeze that type of sound. That's what I love about this pedal. You can do so much. So yeah, you can do a lot. Tons of stuff. But let's get back to the preamp section. Well, we'll get back to making the bass sounds real quick, because if you try to start with this pedal in the middle of it, right, it can be overwhelming, just like the Enzo X or even the Future Impact V4 VIP. It's not that, or even the Source Audio Atlas compressor. Some of the things that turn people off about the C4 synth and the Source Audio Atlas compressor, Mercury X, Enzo X, Future Impact V4 VIP, even the ToneX to certain extents, which you can buy through the link in the description. Help a brother out. If you want the ToneX 1, signature bass series, grab that joint through that link. It'll help me out a lot. But yeah, they have a lot to offer. And sometimes when you have so many options, people get overwhelmed. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to start with this pedal by actually bypassing the main feature, which is the reverb, right? So start there, and we're going to, like I said, have that dynamic section. We're going to put that on a compressor link and the preamp on the op amp. The op amp with a low gain. That's a key. It's a key there. Op amp with a low gain. So you're going to get you a nice bass tone right off the bat, And I would say that even rivals my usual setup of the Empress compressor, ToneX 1, Atlas compressor. So let's compare the two. So this is what I normally would do with my 3-pedal setup. Empress compressor. Empress compressor. Running the ToneX 1, which is running a color box, and into a Aguilar AG preamp tone model on here. And then the Atlas compressor, which is running an 1176 10-to-1 at parallel, running parallel compression, running that into a LA2A tube compressor just for the saturation, no compression. So that's my usual bass setup. Let's see that compared to this preset. So I think in comparison, that's actually that's a pretty good back and forth. The main differences being, of course, I'm not using an actual EQ with the Mercury X. I am using my bass EQ a lot more because on the ToneX, of course, they're using the color box and the Aguilar AG preamp. I have all that, EQ'd up pretty good. So to compensate, I just EQ my bass a little bit more because I don't really use my EQ a whole lot on my bass in that manner. You know what I'm saying? Where I'm doing like sharp, dramatic things, but other than boosting mids at times. But for that, yeah, that's fine. Compared to where I usually keep my bass, this, and this. So you just EQ your bass, you're going to get a nice bass tone with that. But, yeah, that's the main difference between, you can get a great tone either way. But you can definitely just get a Mercury X and just do a bass gig with it. With the compressor. The compressor and the limiter are really good. Like, as well as that op amp gives you a really nice saturation without it, like, coloring your sound too much, and it even gives you a little bit of grit to your sound, you know what I'm saying, because it's also can be overdriven. So I definitely suggest checking that out. But so once you got your nice solid bass tone, we're gonna go with the ladder filter, and we're gonna put the ladder filter on the dry and pre. Well, let's just put it on the dry for now because that's all we really need it on. Put it on the dry. Let's give it quite a bit of resonance there. All right, so we only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 parameters. You could change the type. You get 3 types of filters on here. One of them being pretty much an EQ. Well, I guess this parametric filter, I probably could yeah, I can kind of use that to kind of EQ. goodness. So basically now you got you a whole thing on here going crazy. And this is just the Mercury X. Oh, that's fire. That's getting saved right then and there. That's it. Who knew a reverb pedal would be an amazing bass EQ, compressor, and preamp all in one? This is my bass dry. With it, so, oh, that's sickening. That actually rivals. I can actually bring this gain down a smidge. Oh, that's nasty. Just great compressor. That is a great compressor. That is a great sound. Oh, that's pretty close. I would even say this sound on the Mercury X is a little more transparent. Like this is the way my bass really sounds. That's actually getting closer to my actual. It's a really nice DI sound there. You know what I'm saying? That is. That one pedal versus 3. That firmness from that color box is what makes that my actual bass sound really like punch through. And that op amp is kind of that is really clean. So even something like that, quick save. If you don't want to do all the tapping and holding, like hold this and do all that tapping to save, you can just either hold the foot switch or hold the button directly above the foot switch of the preset that you have selected, and it will save it. So just a quick save tip. But yeah. So starting this there gets you that, right? Say you don't want to use that filter slot for that though. You also have a ladder and a state filter. So a ladder is a 24 dB filter, and a state variable filter is a negative 12 dB. So one of them is a negative 24, one of them is negative 12. Just basically one's sharper, one's a little mellower, if you could think of it like that. So what I like to do, we're gonna take this, put this on low pass, give it some resonance so we can hear it sweeping, right? We're gonna open it all the way up, and then we're gonna come over here to the modifier. So we can do a few different things. We can sign it to an LFO, and we also could control the speed of the LFO right here. So we can pretty much make an electroharmonics blurst type of sound right here. So we can take that and say we got a few different LFO types. We got, it's a bunch of them. Ramp up, ramp down. Ramp up, ramp down, sine, square. What else we got? 3-step up, 3-step down, 4-step up, 4-step down. So you got quite a few parameters right there. Then you can set how far you want the filter to open with the LFO A max and the LFO A minimum. Or you can set it to an actual note division in this menu as well. And you see what I mean by you don't have to do as much menu diving in the text view. Like all those parameters, speed, division, shape, LFO assignment, LFO minimum, LFO max are all like right here. So all the parameters for that modifier are all assigned to these knobs here. If I want to change which modifier I'm doing, I can do that there with this knob. So this turns the pages and all that stuff. But these ones, when you have it in text mode, change to the parameters that are closest to them. So, or lined up with them rather. So, all right, let's set this to the filter cutoff. Let's say filter frequency. Let's do let's also drop back to this mix. We're going to do we're going to put this on the dry signal. We're going to put everything on the dry signal for now. You know what I'm saying? And that'll let us pretty much shape the sound before we ever get to the delay and reverb. And that's what I'm saying. Like a lot of people not explaining this pedal. It took me a while to get the Meris user interface, but once I really understood it, it wasn't nearly as difficult as it seemed. You know what I'm saying? You just got to know how things are routed. So on the dry signal, if I put effects on, well, you got to understand the locations parameter in the different effects, right? So we just drop back real quick. We go back to the filter. We can put the filter on the pre section or the dry section. So meaning the dry signal it's pretty much a 4-channel mixer for the Mercury X. You have the left side dry and then the left side wet, and the other side, the right side, you have the same thing. Right side wet, right side dry. So that's 4 different channels, summed up the stereo out, summed up the 2 channels out, right? So understanding that, you can have it on the wet and the dry signal. In the beginning of the chain, you can have it on just the wet signal, which means your dry signal would completely be unaffected by the filter. You can put it on the pre section, which means only, the dry section, which means your dry signal would be affected by the effect. So if I only wanted the filter to be on my dry signal path and not come through the reverb and stuff, I can do that as well. This is how flexible this thing is. The routing is crazy. I can put it in the feedback loop The feedback loop is going to pretty much put it where it's going only to affect, like, it's going to start affecting things from the pre-delay type of sound. Then you got the pre-tank, you know what I'm saying, which is, so you got the feedback loop, which is like right before the, meaning the delay when it's repeating is going to go back through that effect, right? It's going to loop back through that effect. You got the pre-tank, that's right before that delay sound gets to the reverb. And then you got post, that's at the end of the chain, after the reverb, after everything. So if you understand where those locations, where the location places effects, it'll help you out a lot. So we're going to place this in the pre and dry. So it's going to affect the dry and wet signal. We're going to do the latter, just because it's a little more obvious. So right now I got the filter set up to 15,000. And the reason I'm gonna do that is, and that's pretty much wide open. I'm gonna come back over to the modifier LFO-A, and now I can change the maximum. And I can change that speed of that LFO. Say I wanted to assign that speed of that LFO to the expression pedal. I come over to the expression pedal and I just find it. Let's see, where is it? Oh. That's me controlling the filter frequency cutoff with the expression pedal. It's another way to just control it. What's going on, folks? Appreciate you chiming in. Appreciate you stopping by. Everybody hit that like button for me if you haven't already. I greatly appreciate it. As well as subscribe if you haven't already and all that good stuff. And if you want my preset packs for the various pedals, you know, that I already have out, like the Future Impact B4 VIP, Enzo X, C4 Synth, you know, all that type of stuff, all the Zoom pedal, multi-stomps, MS-70 plus, CDR plus, MS-60B plus, Zoom B6, all that stuff is on the Patreon. If you want to support the channel, do it on the Patreon. All right. So, you know, you can just, the amount of stuff you can do with this pedal is just insane. So if you want to, you can increase that speed. If you want it to drop down so low. Say we don't want to assign that there though. Say we want it to be an envelope filter. Turn that back to none. Go over, scroll over to modifier number 4, which is the envelope attack. set it to the frequency cutoff of the filter. And so you hear it opening and closing when I play. So essentially, I'm cutting the frequency cutoff here on the top end of the filter, and I'm cutting them on the bottom one. I'm bringing up the depth or how far down the filter reaches. And also could control the envelope attack and envelope decay of the envelope. See, long attack. Really long attack. Yeah, how long that took to open? So you put that about, let's try about 5 seconds. Let's hold that decay all the way. Let's bring that attack back down. Bring that decay up. So it just holds open until we stop playing. So say we want to reverse, because it's opening. Say we want it to close. We just reverse the numbers. We can bring this resonance down, flip back over to the filter section. We can spread those filters. I like that. Let's get that open a little. So, yeah, you can do a lot with just the filters and stuff like that. and the modifiers. You know what I'm saying? So you can assign that modifier to, instead of being envelope filter, say you want a random filter. Go to the S and H, assign it to the filter frequency. Let's slow that down. Let me go over here and change this to, I want to use this hold as a tap tempo. So I'm going to use the hold switch, hold modifier as tap tempo. So, bam. Go to the preamp, get some more overdrive with it. So, see, we got a question here. How's the MXR bass synth track the low B? Well, you shouldn't be trying to play a bass synth. In case nobody's ever told you, you should not be trying to play a bass synth pedal down there anyway. You should be trying to play a bass synth pedal above the 12th fret. They all track better that way. It just is what it is. If you're playing down here, and it'll track, all of them will track. All of these pedals, the Future Impact, Enzo X, MXR, bass synth, will track a low B. But why are you playing down there? You're literally cutting all of the good stuff that you could be getting out of the bass synth out of it. Literally, you're limiting yourself to 2 oscillators instead of 3. By playing up here above the 12th fret with a bass synth pedal, you can have a sub octave, you can have your unison pitch octave, and then you can have an octave above with the MXR bass synth in particular. You know, you could pretty much have 3 oscillators. If you try to play down here on your low A and your F, it'll track it, and it'll track it if you have that sub mix on, the sub oscillator. And you know what it's gonna do? Muddy your stuff up and make it sound like crap. So you literally ruin a pedal like this or think it's not good because you're trying to play it the wrong way. You gotta play the pedal the way it's supposed to be played. And I know they advertised it as you can play it down here, but that's just because they wanted y'all to spend money on it. You gotta understand, when people are marketing you something, they are going to always tell you what you want to hear. As long as you buy it, they don't care. But I do. That's why I appreciate you stopping by. You know what I'm saying? It's just, I get octave pedals and synth bass pedals. Stop trying to play them down here. I'm about tired of seeing people trying to demo or do sounds down here. It's just not, it limits the pedal and it makes it sound like a toy, to be honest. So You want the best out your MXR bass synth or any synth pedal, play some. I wouldn't even say you have to play above the 12th fret. You need to play anywhere below, above this B on the E string. Anywhere below, above this E on the B string, you're getting the most for sound. You're not playing for tracking. You're playing for sound, right? You can't use all the oscillators in different octaves the same way playing down here. You know what I'm saying? It's going to muddy everything up. But that's just a little tip for any bass synth. You know, never get any bass synth pedal talking about I want to play it like my regular bass. That's not how bass synth bass lines don't even sound like that anyway. So kind of wasting your time. But cool. You know, I don't mind answering questions off topic, but you know how I am. You pull me off topic, you're going to get the answer you get the way you get it. You know, that just is what it is. But yeah, so that's how you get that random filter sound with this pedal. Use the sample and hold. And that's random. It's generating those values randomly. How much is opening or closing the filter. No problem. No problem at all. I want y'all to sound good, man. I want everybody that I teach or anybody I come in contact to that likes what I do musically, you know, I want all you guys to sound as amazing as possible. So, you know, unlike other people, I have no stake. I don't own anything with MXR. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going to leave it at that. So I'm going to give you the real. You feel me? You working with me. I'm rocking with you. All right, let's roll. So we're going to unassign it from there. And this is where I think most people get confused with the Mercury X. Enzo X works the same way. They don't understand the modifiers, and I didn't until recently either, you know, when I was doing my Enzo X pack. I mean, granted, I haven't been using Meris stuff that long, but as soon as the Enzo X, I could get an Enzo X, I did, and it completely changed the game for me. It completely replaced all my modulation pedals. A lot of the pads and stuff I'm doing, I create in here, you know what I'm saying? And it just gives you a ton of stuff. But in terms of here, these modifiers and expression pedal parameters are the same ones that are available in here on the Enzo X and more than likely on the LVX. They're the same modifiers. You know what I'm saying? So you got two LFOs, the sample and hold, which is that random filter thing you were hearing, and you can assign that to a ton of different parameters, any of the parameters on here. You got the envelope, which is basically based on the attack. Just think envelope filter. And then you got the hold, which is this. You can choose to have this do tap tempo, or I can use this to open and close the filter if I would like as well. So I would just change this to filter frequency. See, in something like this, it's really good to just deal with one effect at a time. It's too much to try to deal with everything in the Mercury X at once, or the Enzo X, or the LVX. These pedals do so much. You have to take your time and really understand the modifiers, you know what I'm saying, and understand the routing of the pedal itself. So, you know, because the first thing when you click on this button and you go to the settings pages, you'll first see it's going to take you like to the pre-delay section, right? But that's not really where the pedal starts. The pedal kind of starts at the dynamic section. So I look at it like, of course you can put that dynamic section anywhere, but I look at it like it starts with those effects, and where I decide to put them first, let me see, get this right. Dynamics, preamp, filter, pitch, and modulate. those four things, depending on where I'm starting in my sound, if any of those need to go on my dry signal or the pre-signal, I suggest starting with those. Like, put them in the right place, turn everything off, hear what that sounds like. That way you're actually getting a good representation, because it can be a lot when you're listening to the presets. It can be pretty intimidating trying to do your own presets. You know what I'm saying? But this is a very worthwhile pedal, not just for reverb. Like, as you're learning now, it could be your filter pedal, overdrive pedal. Now, tell me that's not a good overdrive sound. Right, let's just go ahead and just hit that real 1 second. Very worthwhile, just as a distortion pedal. That's crazy. How that joint beasting on the distortion. I told you that op amp is my favorite for bass. Like, it just sounds good. And that's with the gain on 100%. I bring that gain down, bring up the level. You just get a real warm sound with this joint. I don't know what it is, but that filter's on too. That filter making it real warm. But yeah, so like, just kind of focus on one parameter, like the filter frequency, and deal with the modifiers, because that'll give you a better idea of what they actually do, as well as read the manual. You know what I'm saying? Like, that manual don't hurt. So we're gonna change this right here. And I can even change how long I want it to take to open and close. If I want it to take it real, I control the bottom of that. I control the top. I can have it start from the top and go to the bottom. Just by reversing the minimum and maximum. So by assigning different parameters to different modifiers, and mind you, you can use all the LFOs, all the modifiers, all the modifiers at once. So if I want a modifier for if I want an LFO, two LFOs, a sample and hold, a sequencer, and this hold effect to do something, I can do all of that at once while still having access to 6 additional parameters I can control with my expression pedal at once. I hope that's making sense to you guys. Yes, I have made those type of sounds. Those aren't actually synth sounds. If you got an octave, fuzz, and a chorus, that's not a synth sound. That's just an octave, chorus, and a fuzz sound. Like, it's not a real synth sound. These are synth sounds, and I've made plenty of synth sounds from scratch. You can check out my preset packs. If you have like a Zoom MS-60B Plus, that has bass synths on it as well, and I did on my preset pack for that. I have some bass synths on there. That actually has a bass synth. But things like the MXR bass synth, Future Impact, Enzo X, those are real synth pedals. You know what I'm saying? Like if you go on when you go on the octave, fuzz, filter route, or chorus, it's a synth type of sound, but it's really just a bass guitar sound with those effects on it. So, you know what I'm saying? Like it's a weird thing. And I love those sounds too. Don't get me wrong. I use those sounds and I make those sounds with the Hog 2. Like I use the Hog 2 as an octaver, and if I wanted to have like a filter, let's do that real quick just so you can see what I'm saying. You can sorry for bumping the camera, folks. You can take that filter effect. We're gonna assign it here. Gotta bring that resonance down. I'm gonna switch the filter to the state variable filter. Let's put this around 2, around 5. Put that around 5. All right, so now we'll go back and we'll go to what we got here. I really want some distortion on there, so I'm gonna choose a different preamp. I'm gonna go with the tube one. To go with the op amp. All right, so we'll take that, run. Matter of fact, we're gonna make that an envelope filter. Just kind of emulate regular pedal setup. Put this on the frequency. This is how I would normally do it. So it usually ends up being something very similar to that. Of course, you can add some chorus or something like that as well. Mind you, there is a pitch section in here. So you can do that type of thing with the Mercury X as well. Now I will say the pitch shifting has a bit of more latency than your average pitch shifting pedal, but this isn't really meant to be like your average pitch shifting pedal. What's going on, folks? Appreciate you stopping by. Appreciate you. Feel free to ask questions as well, you know what I'm saying? But this even does that type of thing where you're creating it from octaves, fuzz, and chorus type thing. You can do that same thing here. You can do all types of stuff with this, Jane. I promise you. This is all that's coming from the Hog 2. So it'll even enhance your octave pedals or whatever else, you know what I'm saying, you want to throw into it. And the cool thing about the Mercury X for real, you're not just getting something you can use for bass. You're getting something you can use for any instrument. This is not just none of these effects that I've shown you so far are really bass specific effects. They are just effects that sound good and enhance any sound and make them sound good. Like the compressor link is a stereo compressor where it compresses each side separately. So it compresses the left side and the right side separately based on the signals coming from each side. Or the limiter, link as well, the swell, so you got modulations, filter, pitch shifting, compression, limiting, you know what I'm saying? Auto swell, volume pedal. I mean, come on, freeze. I mean, it's just so much. Overdrive, distortion, you know what I'm saying, if you need it. And not only that, but you got 6 modifiers that all do 6 different things. 2 LFOs, sample hold, envelope, hold attack modifier, pretty much that switch there. And then the sequencer, you can set the sequence to different values. You know what I'm saying? You can set the, if you wanted, say you wanted the pitch shifting to move to different values. Let me see. I just go over here to pitch shifting. Let's say polychroma. We'll turn that to an octave up, and we'll keep. This is all the Mercury X. So now I'm gonna take the pitch, and I'm gonna assign it to the sequencer. Now if I come back over to pitch, oh, this channel is about bass and effects, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times ambient bass effects, but bass effects and tutorials, demos, and reviews. This is all bass creations, effects, tutorials, demos, and review specifically. So that's what the whole channel is about. It's pretty much about anything dealing with bass gear. I also give some playing tips, but you know, I'll be putting out courses and things on Patreon. That's where you'll get all the actual lessons for playing. But a lot of this is just effects tips, how to get to different sounds. You know, someone asked what the channel is what the channel is about. You can change the speed of that right here. And if you don't want it to use a certain step, you can literally just turn it to 0. Skip. I can bring the pitch down here. So that's why I say it's better when you try to work with one parameter at a time and see what the modifiers do. Like once you learn what that parameter does, like the filter cutoff, like you can really hear that parameter. Filter cutoff or pitch, you can really hear pretty easily. You know what I'm saying? So it's a way where you can actually get to know the modifiers a little easier and unlock the pedal's superpowers, which is the automated stuff you can do, which is why a lot of the presets will sound so crazy. So this joint is insane, which essentially makes it an arpeggiator. Right? We haven't even gotten into the delay and reverb yet. We just talking about effects, you know, that are outside of that are within the unit, you know what I'm saying, that all complement that. Now you can use each of these individual effects sections in like 4 or 5 different places. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the crazy part. You can use, you don't even have to use that there. You can come back to the pitch section. We're gonna put it on the reverb side. We're gonna come back to the reverb section. Bring in some of the reverb. Where that filter at? We're gonna put everything on the reverb real quick. And let's use the freeze function. Alright, let's get some of this in here. Alright, come on now. Let me do this. We're gonna bring up some other stuff here real quick. Oh, you know, I'm lunching. You hear that joint? The pitch is only on the reverb. And I can turn off the chorus. Let me turn some of that diffuse. Let's make this room massive. Uh-oh, there we go. We'll come over here with the mix. Let's get this filter open. to the sequencer, changing the room size. That's the sequencer. Yeah. It's almost like you get into some really almost like the wind. Thank you, I appreciate that. Yeah, I love this bass as well. So that's literally the sequencer changing the room size not randomly to the values that are set. You do the same thing. So I say you can assign it to whatever you want to assign it to, and it have different effects. This is the reverb dispersion on the sequencer. So it's man. There's just so many effects you can do. Not only that, but you can still come over and say, I use that, assign that filter there, and I wanted to still do the room size, right? So that's one modifier. I gotta attach that modifier to this expression pedal setting. So it's basically going to take it away from the expression pedal and attach it to the sequencer. We're here, so with the source. Then I can assign that back to the room size. So yeah, you can just, it's quite amazing the extensive amount of things you can do with this thing. And like I I said, you can assign it to any of the parameters. You know what I'm saying? Any of the parameters of any of the effects, you can assign to these different modifiers. In addition to each individual modifier, you get, 6 additional things you can assign if you so wanted to that modifier. So say I wanted 6 parameters, I wanted 7, I can have up to 7 parameters assigned to the sequencer or assigned to the whole modifier. You know what I'm saying? I can have up to 7 things attached to this. I can have up to 6 things, parameters attached to my expression pedal. 7 things to the LFO. You know what I'm saying? To an LFO, or I can use and still use another LFO. So I can easily do 4 things to one LFO A, 4 parameters to LFO B. That's how powerful this unit is. It's not just a reverb pedal, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you see reverb pedal, we freeze. Okay. This Mercury X does everything and has all the parameters you would ever need to tweak for a reverb pedal. It also has enough parameters where you can get a solid bass, preamp, and compression sound out of it, along with a bit of EQ with the parametric filter. You know what I'm saying? Which is pretty much a one-band EQ type thing. You know what I'm saying? You can look at it like that. And I just can't. The filters are great. The filters are top-notch. The modulations are top-notch. I didn't go through all the modulations and stuff. I'll do that in another video. And, all the reverb algorithms are top-notch. Like, you just get some beautiful sounds. Not to mention the presets. Fully MIDI capable, and like I have my MIDI captain here on the floor assigned to trigger this whole modifier. So when I'm pressing the MIDI captain on the floor, modifier is coming on. So that's also a pretty cool function. If I want to freeze something, beautiful freeze there. Look at that. And the reverb and everything is still active. So not only can I play a chord, right? Sustain that, I can play over it. Change this mix. Bring that decay down. Stuff like half speed. Yeah. These are presets. Woo. That's fire. Just hold that gorgeous chord. Just beautiful. tell me that's not a great filter. That filter sounds amazing. It actually sounds similar to the one on the HX, EHX Hog 2. So, you know, when, you know, I got another story for y'all another time, but yeah, definitely sounds good. But yeah, both of these pedals here can be used as the individual effects are really good as well. Sequencer at effect there. Shimmer. Ooh. What? And this is a reverb pedal by itself, nothing else. So this replaced the deep freeze and the MXR layers. It's just magical. First of all, it's holding the chord and it's allowing me to play over it, and it's still allowing me to fully use the effects. So the same exact sound I'm freezing, the effects I'm freezing, I'm still using while it's frozen. That's insane. Yes, the Hog 2 is the big brother of the Pog series. So they haven't come out with a Hog 3 yet, but they have come out with a Pog 3, which is a combination of like the features of this Hog 2 and the Pog 3. I have a Pog 2 and a Hog 3. Excuse me, the Pog 2 and the Hog 2 are like combined into one new thing now, the Pog 3. And I actually had one, but I had to send it in for repair. So, you know, I guess they're having a few issues, but we'll see how this works out. And I'll let you guys know if you should still grab it or not. You know what I'm saying? But stay tuned, hold off on that one for a little bit. Let me get mine back, and we'll see what they're talking about, if I can recommend it. But the Pog 3 definitely has some amazing features. It's just stability is the question. Oh, no, I don't do song requests. I don't do song requests. But beautiful. Just beautiful. Even does delay really well. Yes, you can cut the dry. The Hog 2, this one, if all goes according to plan, this one might be up on Reverb. I have a Reverb.com store page. where I sell my used pedals. You know, got a bunch of used pedals up there, but the Hog 2 might be up there if the Pog 3 pulls through the way I want it to. But like I said, we'll hold off on that. But yeah, so with the Hog 2, just because you had a question, you can use your original signal and your dry signal. So the original signal is like the unison pitch with what you're playing. It's like the digital copy of what you're playing, versus the dry out is your analog, just your exact dry signal. But this, if you wanted to freeze and go through the filter and all that stuff, you would use the original slider here on the Hog 2. And the Pog, I believe, Pog 2, Pog 3. Pog 3 was a little different, but we'll come back to that. But yeah, so you got filters, delays, all the reverbs you could ever want, just massive creative reverbs in here. And it does do regular reverbs very well. See, let me find a regular reverb. Here's an amp room. Compressed spring. So it don't have to get crazy. Studio hole. I would definitely. That's fire. Don't play me. That's crazy. That's great. This, out of all the pedals I've ever played, the Mercury X has the best presets. I have to say that I haven't played the LVX, Meris LVX, but the Enzo X had so many presets that was crazy, right? It had a lot of them that was really, really good. I mean, the majority of, like half of the presets on there was just otherworldly amazing. I still even have a lot of the presets on here. And I've had this pedal for like a year, created preset packs and everything else. This joint here, I have a hard time finding slots to save stuff. Not because it doesn't have enough room. It's got 100 slots. But how am I going to save over that? It's still going on. That's insane. This one called Slow Tape. I thought I had an octave pedal on. That's the octaver on the Mercury X. Come on. Stop playing with the Mercury X. The sound quality is insane too. It's the sound quality, the way the sound wraps around you. I can take that sound, I can make that much bigger in the reverb if I wanted to. Just backed it up. Even when you turn off, I'm bypassed right now. The tail is crazy. detail on that thing. And most of that's coming from the pre-delay section, because it's pre-delay normally is the time between when you hear the sound, when your sound is played, and when you hear it in the room. But, or when the room effect kicks in. But in Meris' case here, they use the pre-delay section. When you feed that pre-delay section back into itself, you can create a delay like this. So they managed to create delay section where you can have different types of pre-delay, and which acts as a delay section for you. And on the LVX, you can do similar things in reverse with the delay. So it's, come on, man. Oh, that's sickening. They sickening for that. That don't make no sense. Y'all hit that like button and make sure y'all subscribe if you haven't already. That's sickening. Watch this when you go start changing times and stuff in the pre-delay section. I'm just changing the BPMs. I wanted to just hold it for a minute. Listen, see, it's feeding back into itself now. That's with it on 100%. So it's just like it creates a feedback loop, and it just starts to get bigger and bigger and bigger. So you even got different types of pre-delay here. I'm just gonna say different types of delay. That's how I kind of look at it. But you got the digital, you got the BBD, and you got the magnetic. The magnetic is more of like the tape type of sound. This is reversed. Say I just wanted it to hold it. I actually should be able to hold the pre-delay, the feedback loop. Oh, let me see something. If I put the preamp, if I take this preamp section, and I put it in only in the feedback loop. No, not the dynamics. We're gonna change that to freeze. We're gonna put it in the feedback loop. Then we come over here to expression hold. Assign that to Dyne freeze. So now it's gonna make that. See what we got here. Oh yeah, you can do a ton of different loops with this joint. What's going on, folks? Appreciate the usual suspects stopping by. As usual, all my usual suspects starting to pop in. Hey, it be like that sometimes. Sometimes 6 p.m. and 6 a.m. You know how I go. Yeah, what's funny is the guy, the main guy, one of the main guys that designed the Mercury X used to work for Line 6. He used to be one of the designers for sound designers for Line 6. So a lot of those classic Line 6 units, the gentleman over at at Meris, him he's the he helped design a lot of them units. If you watch the JHS pedal video, what did JS? They did the LVX, a review of the LVX, and in the beginning, the owner of JHS pedals was talking about the history of the owners, and I've actually had a chance to speak to one of the owners, Jenna. Amazing. She actually has a deep background, and she actually designed these I guess the physical thing. You know what I'm saying? So like this, she used to work for Disney and a whole bunch of other people. So they got a crazy team over there. It's a small team, but when you got geniuses, you don't need 50 people. You know what I'm saying? Like when you got geniuses, you just need them. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it works out. It's definitely working out, as you can hear. Like you can hear that's working out. So, hats off to them for their beautiful craftsmanship, beautiful tones, sounds, and just these are like an ultimate tool for creativity. That's why I love them so much. Yep, that Pog 3 is in the shop. I'll just be honest. They have an issue with the firmware where some units are getting stuck on the startup screen where it says just like Pog 3, the date, and then like the firmware version, and then it won't start past that. I just got that thing Tuesday, so y'all know I ain't had it long. I tried not to make videos. Y'all know about stuff like that because y'all know I love electro harmonics. Y'all know I got a ton of they pedals. Just above here is like 8. What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 electro harmonics pedals on the pedal board that's above this one right here, and not including the Hog 2. So that's 8 pedals right there. I love electro harmonics. I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt, and they had me send the unit back to them. So I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt, let them do their thing, give them the grace that they've been flawless. Since I started using their pedals, I've never had any problems with their pedals. So I would say they deserve a bit of grace. I'm not gonna say that pedal doesn't work or isn't worth getting yet, or is worth getting yet, until I get that pedal back and see if that issue is resolved with a firmware update or whatever they got to do at the factory. So that's what a Pog 3 is. Oh, you big balling over there. You got the Mercury X and the LVX delay. That's big money. Yeah, big money. You got big sounds too. That's a lot of delay and reverb right there. I'm not sure if it's the update. I'm not sure if it's the update in the firmware or not. I know, and when I did so before I updated the firmware, the pedal had a lot of latency. The Pog 3 had a lot of latency. So when I updated the firmware, then the pedal was performed phenomenally. Like the tracking was way better than the Hog 2. It's even better than the Hog 2. Like spot on, no glitching, like no chord could mess it up. Like you can't outrun the damn thing. But I'm not sure what happened. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know if it was that firmware update or if it was just something that they've been trying to. It sounds like something they've been trying to solve for a few firmware updates. You know what I'm saying? It is an issue they've been trying to solve. So they're trying to come up with one now. They're in the works. So I can't say yay or nay whether you should update it or not. But I know when you do, the firmware allowed it. The new firmware allowed it to work better than any pitch effect I've ever played. I mean, when it was working, it was, I mean, phenomenal. I mean, that thing. That's why I said I don't want to get y'all so excited about it, and then I have to tell y'all now because they, rada, or they couldn't get the firmware together. But it's even got an app. It's just crazy the stuff you can do with that POG 3. So hopefully they get it together because I would love to have that on my pedal board. I would absolutely love to have that thing. I've had this POG 2 for like 10 plus years and never had no problems with it, no glitches. Of course it's not, it's a digital pedal still, but I've never had no problems with electro harmonics in general. So, hopefully they can get that together. I didn't want to put that out there, but I did tell them if y'all asked, I was going to tell y'all. I was hoping nobody was going to ask. Just slip the Hog 2 back on the board. Hopefully nobody asked. But because, when you get, no, I'm not endorsed with electro harmonics. I've never even directly talked to I've talked to somebody on the phone, but I've never talked to anybody about being an artist or anything like that for them. I just really like their stuff. Same thing with Meris and ToneX. IK Multimedia and the ToneX pedals. Pedals I really like. I try to back, think Future Impact, V4 VIP. I'm like, why ain't nobody talking about this pedal? This is one of the best. This is the best bass vintage synth out there. If you want to get all the vintage bass sounds, this is nothing going to beat the Future Impact at this size and at this price point. MXR bass synth is something totally different. It's not going to get you those exact vintage bass sounds that the Future Impact V4 VIP will. Yeah, man. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. If it ain't broke right now, don't fix it. Maybe call them, see what they talking about, and But past that, if yours is working correctly for you, I wouldn't do anything right at this moment. The POG 3 is polyphonic, and it's crazy. But like I said, you buying at your own risk right now. Don't say the Bass Negus told me to go buy the POG 3 right this second, because I did not. I'm literally telling you the opposite. Please, you know what I'm saying? If you don't have it already, go ahead and wait a little bit till they get that issue resolved. I'll let you know. The MXR bass synth is mono. So these two pedals are monophonic bass synths, polyphonic octaver. This actually has 10 octaves that you can use all together at once. But this is a polyphonic and monophonic synthesizer for these two, the Enzo X, Future Impact are full synthesizers. Like, have apps that you can use and you can play them with keyboards and do all that other stuff. So they are full synths. You know what I'm saying? The MXR bass synth definitely is a synth pedal, but it definitely is a bass synth pedal. You know what I'm saying? Exclusively. But it is good. I do like it. I would say get you an expression pedal if you're going to get it. for the MXR bass synth, get your expression pedal. It would definitely it's going to do a few things for you. It's going to multiply these presets. It's going to give you instead of 8, you're going to have 16, and then you'll be able to, on each preset, you'll have 2 different presets you can morph between, which is really cool. Just give you guys an example. Which one is it? 'Cause I got 3 expression pedals down here. Let me turn this off. So just by having 2 really different settings and morphing between them, and if you stay like under 50% or over the 50%, it'll favor each, it'll have the dominant preset. So heel down, if you from heel down to halfway, it's going to be mostly, for me, that bottom synth sound. Now it's mixing in some of that other preset. It's a little like 40%. If I go over to 50, now if I go all the way toe down, I get that synth, right? But if I go back down to 75%, you bring in that lower oscillator, about 50%. So, yeah, the expression pedal definitely adds to that MXR bass synth on another level. Well, I can't back you up on that one. As far as I know, everything on here is monophonic. All the bass synth tracking is monophonic. Only thing that you can use, only thing you can play chords with is if you turn off the synth and you use just the chorus pedal. So if you were to do this, so it's not really going to track polyphonically, polyphonic playing, you know what I'm saying? But you can, like I said, just turn it off, use the filter, open the filter all the way up, use the chorus. See, that's me playing the chord there, but there's no synth there. That's me using the filter and the filter. So that's the way you can play chords with it. If you want to use this as a chorus or a filter pedal, and like I said, you can use it as an envelope filter or as an LFO filter. So that's another little feature of the MXR bass synth that doesn't really get talked about too much. You can also mix in that noise. So, you just be creative with these things as much as possible. Now, if you want an actual polyphonic synth, you're going to want to get the Enzo X. Enzo X is going to allow you to get to those crazier actual sounds that you know what I'm saying, you really going to want these. Just like the sound, just like the Mercury X. It's the same, it's all the same food. First of all, you can use the Enzo X as a bass pedal as well. You know. You even got your envelope filters, phasers. More filter action there. Octave down. You get a little bit of everything. Bit crusher, ring mod. Flanger. Nice flanger there. Chorus. Yeah, that's the modulations, the drives, overdrives, fuzz, distortion on this, and this, because it's a lot of the same ones. A lot of things overlap, but the thing I really like about Meris pedals too is when you getting these two, like, yes, it says modulate on both pedals, but the modulations are different. Like this one, the chorus on here is a 79 chorus, while this is just their stereo chorus. So you're getting different choruses on on either one. You're getting a different I think the tremolo is the same, but you're getting like a ring mod and a bit crusher on here. You're getting like this haze on here, as well as like a vowel modulation on here. And you get like a parametric filter on here, while you get a twin filter, which is closer to something like a baseball's, EHX baseballs. What's going on, folks? Appreciate you dropping by. Yeah, it's, if you have like a Enzo X, and I think you have quite a few pedals that overlap with mine, but I think you're gonna get me in trouble, man. Why are you trying to start something tonight? You know how it is, man. It's MXR bass synth is good for what it's good for. And it's a great pedal. That's why it's on my pedal board. I would never, it's just it is what it is. But in terms of the pads and stuff, that's what I was about to show y'all. But y'all seen that joint, that Enzo X just killed that chorus and that flanger. It's fire. Now, what I started doing, experimenting with, was taking that, and I'll take like the ambient section off, or I'll turn this to a delay, because this has a stereo echo on here. Let's clear this up, and let's make this quarter note. Yeah, something like that, and then let's run that into. So now we got the world's most amazing reverb pedal. Even just a simple haul. Get to the fancy settings. Just gets extra. You've never heard nothing that sickening in your life. Mercury X just takes it to the next level. Awesome. Yeah, the Mercury, Meris Enzo X is just fire. I mean, if you add a Mercury X, it's game over. It's game over. If you're a pad, if you're into pads and stuff, for sure. But like I said, the Mercury X can work as just your last pedal on your board because of that compressor. My favorite compressor and limiter is the compressor link and the limiter link on there. Because of those aspects, I can literally, between that and the preamp section, you know what I'm saying, and the filter section, you know what I'm saying, because the Enzo X has the filters, same filters, a couple filters I really need, and due to EQ, preamp, and compression or limiting with the Mercury X, you pretty much set for any gig. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have to have this Atlas compressor here. I just really like the sound of it. But the sound of the Mercury X by itself as a bass preamp pedal is really good. Like, I mean, really good. It's very transparent. It's clean. It's a big sound. You know what I'm saying? And it doesn't hardly color it at all, but still finds a way to enhance it very nicely. So, I definitely shout out to the folks over at Meris for building one of the greatest pedals ever. Well, not one of them, three of the greatest pedals ever. The Mercury X, the Enzo X, and the LVX. LVX, I'm on the fence on if I'm gonna get one or not, just because this reverb pedal does so much. I know me. I probably will. I probably will get an LVX. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know why I'm kidding myself. I'm probably gonna get an LVX at some point, and because I want to get through those granular delays sounds as well. But man, does the Mercury X have a lot to offer, and it doesn't just offer it as it's just like a whim. You know how like you get some extra effects in certain pedals, and it's like that effect. It won't stand up to other standalone effects. Like the compressor and limiter in here stand up to the compressor limiters in here on the Atlas compressor, which is crazy. The modulations between these two pedals stands up as good as any modulations I've heard. Like they can do some amazing things. You got so much control over them with the different parameters and modifiers. You usually it can get pretty overwhelming. Then you got the best reverbs in the game. The sounds of the reverbs is insane. You just make noise. And you can make music with it. That's how good it is. You don't even have to play nothing. I'm not playing anything right now. Just half plucking the string. And just create music. I actually love working on the pedals. Are you using the text view or are you using the graphic view? I suggest the text view. This view, because if you can't the graphic view, you got to scroll through those bubbles, and that can be a little harder to get you where you're trying to go. But in the graphic view, when you go to say a modifier, all the parameters for that modifier are all right here. You know what I'm saying? Or if you go to do some effect or the pre-delay, you got 2 pages now versus like 8. You know what I'm saying? And then you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 knobs to work with versus in the graphic view, you're typically working with just these 2 knobs. So that's a huge game changer in when you're editing, and if you go to the global settings and change it to text instead of the graphic view. You got access to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 parameters per page, up to 6 parameters per page. So for say the pre-delay section, the pre-delay section is only 2 pages. Now instead of in graphic view, this is a page, 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 and all the other all parameters, all those are pages. You know what I'm saying? So it makes it harder for you to just like edit really quickly. It does look nicer. I understand why they did it. It looks nicer, but this is more functional. Like put it in text view, and then now pre-delay is 2 pages. The reverb is only 3 pages. You know what I'm saying? And you can easily, it's only 2, is it 2 or 3? 3 pages. Dynamics is down to 1 page. So you can see it. This is the type. You know what I'm saying? So say I wanted a limiter. Now I can see where I'm putting it right here. Threshold. Attack and release. Well, what's this? Gain and release. And then, if you had the compressor up here, you have the type, dynamic type, location, threshold, ratio, gain, attack, and then the release and mix on the next page. So definitely switch these X series, Meris X series pedals over to the text view. It's gonna make your life so much easier and editing on the pedal. I prefer editing on the pedal more than anything. Oh yeah, I don't know how they did that. Like how the Meris, it's like every component, every individual effect, they tried to really make it sound good and really usable. Like, there's no way the compressor on a reverb pedal should be anywhere near as good as a compressor as a standalone pedal, you know, that's been put together as a standalone thing, but somehow it does. Yeah, they got some crazy stuff going on at Meris. But, you know, in a positive way. You know, a lot of times we say that in a negative way. I mean in a positive way. They shout out to their team for two of my favorite pedals and two of my newest and took over. I mean, let me show y'all something real quick. Show y'all how many pedals they have replaced. Just these two pedals. Still going. Tell me that's not crazy. Tell me that's not crazy. Between those two pedals, that's insane. That is absolutely insane. There's no way. And I mean, replace them. Didn't replace them a little bit. Replace them with great, you know, options. Do I have as many options as I have with all these pedals? To be honest, no. But do I need, have I ever used all 15, you know, however many, it's like 8 choruses in here. Have I ever used all of them? No. Have I even liked all of them? No. I pretty much used the tri-chorus. Same thing in here. I pretty much used tri-chorus and shimmer reverb in here. HX1, I pretty much used the analog flanger, shimmer, and like the regular reverb, which of course, that's dead. You know, the multi-stomp, I mostly would use this for distortions. I don't need that anymore either. The MXR Poly Blue, MXR bass envelope filter, don't need those anymore because, you know, it covers all that stuff. Like the Poly Blue actually got replaced. The Poly Blue and the OC5 partly got replaced by, I mean, of course, the Hog 2 has always been here, but they got partially replaced by the Hog 3, but it's not here, of course. But those two pedals allow me to do the same thing, replace those octavers. Plus, I already have a Hog 2 on here, so that's gone. MXR layers, don't really need that because I can do that same thing like with the combination of effects. This has chorus and tremolo on it, and it has diffusion on here as well, so I can do all that with the Mercury X. You know, the C4 synth, I got a C4 synth as well. You know, if you want to check out my preset pack for that, that's on the Patreon, but I got a C4 synth as well. As a matter of fact, a C4 synth right here. C4 synth. Wow. Now, I can't say that the Deep Freeze has lost this spot yet. I like the auto mode on here the best, and this really does give your bass like a real string sound. Now, when if the Pog 3 pulls through, this and the Hog 2 are out the way. You know what I'm saying? So that's not something I necessarily would need. Only reason I would keep this is so I could run this on my other board with my Key 9, Mel 9, and vocoder and stuff. But, you know, right now I don't need it on the pedal board because I have a Hog 2 there. Does this, a lot of ideas for these smaller pedals, they took from the Hog 2. What they did with the Hog 2, they took like that the Super Ego and the deep freeze and the freeze, the Paul, like the filters, the wah pedal. It's a wah pedal in this Hog 2. Yeah. So C4 synth, I like the harmonizer in there. The harmonizer in there is the only reason I haven't sold the C4 synth. You know what I'm saying? The harmonizer in there it harmonizes the way I like my stuff to be harmonized, not the way it wants to harmonize. Like, I feel like a lot of pedals, they kind of harmonize the way they want to, and it's not really in a musical way. The one on the C4 synth, Source Audio C4 synth, is very musical. Very musical. But you see how many pedals are getting, all these are listed on the reverb.com, by the way. If you in the DC, Maryland, Virginia area and you want to grab some pedals, some bass pedals, holler at me. All mine in great condition. They all fully working, all that good stuff, very minimum cosmetic damage. As you can see, I don't be tearing my stuff up. You feel me? I've had this. This is like the second pedal I ever bought, and you can see the condition it's in. So I try to really take care of my pedals. But yeah. And just so you know, this whole board is powered by one True Tone CS12. Which one of the things I like about it is it does like this variable power thing where if it needs more milliamps and it's got some left over, it'll send it where it needs it to go. So even if you're using a 100 milliamp slot, if you need 500 milliamps to come out of there, it will. So that's, one of the reasons why I use it, and it's been very reliable. Y'all see I got this little fan right here. That's mostly because I got it sitting on the table, like kind of like literally flat against the table. And I do have my Meris pedals right on top of it, so I don't like it to get too warm, but it doesn't need a fan. Plus, yeah, even Spectrum out of here too. Of course, that's been replaced by the Empress compressor, but yeah. And guess what? Guess what the ToneX replaced? All them preamps, all the amps. Like, I still have my preamps and stuff. Like, I even have, this is the very first pedal I ever bought, which was a Eden WT DI pedal, still in great condition, fully working condition. Very first pedal I ever bought. And if you want it, it's on the Reverb, reverb.com. But for local pickup only. So rock with me. I think I'm selling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Selling about 12 pedals right now. You know what I'm saying? We cleaning a little house, you know what I'm saying? I don't wanna just hoard a bunch of pedals I'm not using when people that might want them, y'all can get them for about 60% of the brand new price. Just go to my page. Even got an Xsonic Pro for sale on the Reverb page. These are pretty cool. If you want to do an iPad rig, or if you want to use your laptop, like you can you got your expression pedal, stereo in and out. You even got a mic preamp there, separate mic gain. It's 24-bit, 192 kilohertz, quality sample rate. And then you got the USB full MIDI interface on it, headphones, XLR out, stereo, quarter-inch outs, and you can assign each one of these foot switches to whatever you want, and it's 3 different banks of them. So it's 18 different parameters you can assign to these different foot switches. So this is a really good pedal. Didn't get to use it as much because I don't really use an all iPad rig, but definitely works well. Look at that. Just foolish. That's what I said. That's when you got a good pedal. When you can just make a noise and it just go to sounding crazy like that. Like, y'all see how I just bumped something on the floor and my bass volume just happened to be up. Instant, amazing sound. So I can't recommend the Pog 3 just yet, but Enzo X, the Mercury X, absolutely run. Don't walk, run. Go buy them. Go get them. They are absolutely worth every dime. I cannot lie to you. I didn't think I would ever be buying a $600 pedal. Like I tell y'all, my cap is about $500. That's why I don't really do. I got a lot of pedals, but I got a lot of them because I cap off the price around $500. You know what I'm saying? Anything more than that, I don't really see diminishing returns for me. So, but with this, I don't think I can live without this thing now, like in my ambient life. This or the Enzo X, these are just staples in my ambient life now. Like it'll reignite that fire in you to play. You know what I'm saying? Like that's one of the main differences I can see with the Meris pedals versus anybody else's, to be honest. Like, they will make you play and want to play immediately and want to play all day and spend all day in space. It feels like you're spending all day in space, like when you play these pedals. So definitely worth checking out. Make sure, if you haven't already, definitely check it out. Yeah, if the X-Tone Pros are pretty good, you know what I'm saying? They definitely, it'll get the job done for the live. It's an audio interface essentially. It's an audio interface in the pedal form. That's all the X-Tone Pro is, you know what I'm saying? Just an audio interface with foot switches on it. Like, say you wanted to run guitar rig. Like, I love guitar rig sounds for pads and stuff too. And when I'm recording, say I wanted to do a lot of the pads in the computer so I could sync everything up, with the computer, X-Tone Pro is a perfect candidate. It's also, like I said, it's also that the MIDI switches too. So definitely, if you don't need it, don't buy it. I'm not gonna lie to you. If you don't need it, don't buy it. It ain't worth it. But if you need something of that nature, you need something that's rugged for audio interface, and you want to control effects in your iPad and computer, definitely check out the X-Tone Pro. Definitely worth it. But all right, guys, that's all I'm going to do for today. I definitely appreciate y'all hanging out with me. If you haven't already, hit that like button, subscribe, follow me on all social media at the Bass Negus. And if you want to support the channel, you can do that on the Patreon. And you check out all my preset packs for the Future Impact V4, the Enzo X C4 synth. Mercury X be having the pack soon. Don't worry. I'm going to have a whole pack of just exclusive stuff for that joint. But what else we got? MS-70 CDR plus, MS-60B plus, Zoom B6, and I'm coming out with a whole all new packs, not all new packs, all new packs of preamps I still own on the ToneX pedals, along with combination of preamp packs. So like the ToneX, the JHS color box plus the Aguilar AG preamp color box plus the Magellan color box plus the SGT DI. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be those type of combination packs I'm going to be reissuing, not issuing, but putting out as well. So you're going to get all new, or the version 2 packs of Magellan, Gensler Magellan, the Aguilar AG, the Ampeg SGT, the Jens Benz Shuttle 9, Mark Bass, little Mark 3, and probably I'm going to redo that TC Electronic BH500 pack if I get a chance. Might even redo the Galen Kruger pack as well. So thank you guys for hanging with me. It means the world to me. Hope you guys have enjoyed this. If you haven't already, grab you a Meris X series, a Series X pedals, whether it be the Enzo X, LVX, or the Mercury X. They are all fire, and they will all step your game up. So, all right, guys, I'll catch you later. Oh, if you want a ToneX and you want to help out the channel, check out the link in the description. It would greatly